Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. I am Miss Ariba, your science teacher. So I hope you all are completing your work, and the activity which I have given you yesterday was so interesting about the shadows. Try it at your home if you haven't did it. So before starting the lecture, I would like to say to all of you to stay safe at your homes and take care of yourself and your families and keep washing your hands. Okay, so let's continue the chapter light and shadow. In previous video we have learned about light and shadow. So today we will just revise it again. What is light? Light is a form of energy. We cannot see without light. Yes, light is very important to see. And the sun is the natural source and the main source of the light, which is given by Allah. Do you remember the two properties of light? The first one is light travels in a straight line. That is called rays. And number two is light cannot bend around the things. Yes, light travels in a straight line and it cannot bend around the things. Okay, now what is shadow? Shadows are made when light is blocked by an object. When we block the light, the shadow is made. In this picture, the sun is giving the rays of light, and because of the tree, the light is blocked. That is why the shadow is made. I hope you all are now clear about light and shadow. So now in this video we are going to start our new topic, transparent, translucent and opaque. These are the concepts of light which I am going to explain you in this video. So I want everyone to watch and listen the video very attentively. The first one is opaque. Opaque are those objects from which the light cannot pass. Let me show you an example. Look at this picture. Can you see a piece of wood? Yes, that piece of wood cannot pass the light through it. Why? Because it is an opaque object. Opaque objects cannot pass the light through them. They are blocking the light. The book is also an opaque object. If you will put any book in front of the light, it will block the light, as the wood was blocking. This plastic glass also blocks the light. That is why it is an opaque object. Let me show you more examples. This is a mug, and mug is an opaque object from which the light cannot passes through it. These are the solids.
Now look at the sheet of wood. Can you see through sheet of wood? No, you can't see. These types of objects are called opaque objects. Opaque objects do not allow light to pass through them.
Number second is translucent materials. These materials are those from which some of the light can only pass. Translucent materials are those from which some of the light can only pass. Let me show you some of the examples of this. These sunglasses are the example of translucent materials. Only some of the light passes through them, not all the light. This is a frosted glass. Frosted glass means the glass which has some pattern on it. This frosted glass is also a translucent material. That is why only some of the light can pass through the translucent object. This is a tracing paper from which some of the light can only pass through it. So these are the examples of translucent objects.
Now look at the greasing paper. Can you see through greasing paper? You can see, but not clearly. Such types of objects are called translucent objects. These substances allow light to pass through them partially.
Now the third one and the last one is transparent. Do you know that light can pass through some objects? What are those objects called? Those objects are called transparent objects. Yes, Transparent objects are those from which the light can pass through them, like this glasses. The glasses which has a clear glass can pass the light through it. So these bottles also are transparent and the light can pass through them. And from these transparent objects we can see through them easily. As in this picture you can see there is a window that is transparent and you can see everything that is outside. So this is a transparent object. Now this aquarium is also a transparent object because light can pass through it. The glass is also a transparent object because the light can pass through it. That is why we call it transparent. Now the last example is magnifying glass. Magnifying glass is also a transparent object because the light can pass through it.
Can you see through this? Yes, you can. And that is because glass is a transparent object. You can see clearly through the transparent objects, and this is because transparent objects allow light to pass through them completely.
I hope you all understand these three categories of the light, that is opaque, transparent and translucent. So now I have a short video for all of you. Enjoy watching that video and watch it very attentively so you will get it more about it.
Today we will learn more about light energy. So let's get started. Kids, we learned that we see any object because of the light that hits on it, reflects back, and that reflected light makes us see that object. So let's learn more about it. If we strike light on a solid object, say a bag, the light hitting the bag will not pass through it. It will be absorbed by the bag as it's a solid object. Very little amount of light will pass through them. This is why solid objects cast shadows as light is not able to pass through them. The area exactly behind the bag is darker, as light is not able to pass through the bag, and this is what we call as shadow. Transparent objects. Objects that let all the light to pass through them are called transparent objects or clear objects, like any clear glass or clear plastic. Example, window panes, spectacles, car windshields, light bulb, thermometer, aquarium, transparency sheets, ice, and clean water are examples of transparent things. You can see the details of the objects on the other side of the transparent objects. It is because all the light passes through. Translucent objects. Translucent objects allow some light to pass through them, but not all light. Some light is absorbed or reflected. It can be seen through, but not completely. Tinted windows, frosted glass, sunglasses, wax papers, color liquids in a glass, oiled papers, colored syrups, and certain stones are examples of translucent objects. Opaque objects. Objects that do not let any light to pass through them are called opaque objects. Some of the light is reflected back and some is absorbed. Here are some examples of opaque objects. Now let's see another interesting thing.
Did you enjoy the video? Great. Now I hope you all got it more about it. Now tell me that what is opaque? Opaque are those objects from which the light cannot pass. For example, wood. And now what is transparent object? Transparent objects are those from which the light can pass through it and we can see through them very easily. For example, glass. Now the third one is translucent. Translucent are those objects from which some of the light can pass through them. For example, tracing paper, sunglasses. Now I have some interesting work for you. That is, you have to explain what are opaque objects and you have to make a list of 10 things that are opaque and you have to make a list of these 10 things from your room. You have to write 10 things that are opaque objects that are in your room. Okay, I have an activity for all of you. That is, you have to sit near a light or a window. So put an object near it and take a plain paper so the shadow will come on your paper so you will draw it easily. Translucent are those objects from which some of the light can pass through them. For example, tracing paper, sunglasses. Now I have some interesting work for you. That is, you have to explain what are opaque objects and you have to make a list of 10 things that are opaque and you have to make a list of these 10 things from your room. You have to write 10 things that are opaque objects that are in your room. Okay, I have an activity for all of you. That is, you have to sit near a light or a window. So put an object near it and take a plain paper so the shadow will come on your paper so you will draw it easily. That will be so much fun. Till then, stay home, enjoy the videos which we are sending to you, and take care of yourself and your family. Bye bye. See you in the next class.